Good evening, and if you're just tuning in, you're listening live to the Angel Rock with your host, me, Lorilei Potvin, on UFO Paranormal and United Public Radio Network. And welcome. Glad to have you here. Sorry, I'm trying to share this as I'm talking to you, and it's just little old me here. You guys got lucky because I was going to put a replay on, and apparently there's a lot of replays planned already for this week. So you got me, and I'm glad to be here actually. A little bit about myself. If you've never been here before, welcome. And I want to see some people here that are already here, some of our regular crew. We've got, let's see, Diane Brighton's here, Z Sun Dragon, or Kevin, and happy Canada Day. I am Canadian. I am a psychic medium, a crystal Reiki energy healer, Akashic Records practitioner, spiritual teacher and mentor, as well as registered nurse. And I'm a budding animal communicator. Gosh, you know what? I tell people when we are live, or when my show's live, and people always forget, and then they message me. Hang on, I'm going to try and change this over because I got some interesting spooky videos. We got lots we can talk about tonight, so hang on. Got me here. Good, that's what I want. I'm all set up. Good. If you want to join in the conversation like Kevin and Diane, what you can do is head over to UFO Paranormal Radio and United Public Radio Network on Facebook and YouTube. I'm streaming on my YouTube channel, which is the Angel Rock with Lorilei Potvin. I was just pinning the show to the top of my public profile on Facebook, so anybody can watch that. You don't have to be joined into my friend list. Also, we're streaming on the Angel Rock on Instagram. Hopefully it's going to go the 2 hours. I know they were only allowing us on StreamYard to stream for an hour there. Also, they don't allow the comments over into the regular conglomeration we have here as we produce our own shows. So I will try and pop back and forth and say hello to you, because if you've been to the show before, or the second show that I co-host on Thursday nights with my good friend and amazing angel channel and medium David Hansel, The Thing at the Foot of the Bed, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You know that both of these shows are very audience participative, and you guys are what makes the shows, and that's why I love doing this. Also, if you like what you see, please like, share, and subscribe. Tell all your friends and family. There really is something for everybody on this network. I believe we're up to 40 hosts on this network. So we stream several live shows 7 days a week. And when we're not streaming live, the archive server randomly dips into the last 25 plus years and plays shows from previous hosts and their shows, as well as our regular cast and crew that we have on here for hosts. So there really is something for everyone here. Now, if you want to watch us on TV, the Angel Rock, as well as many of the other shows on this network, stream on TV. We have our own TV channel for the network. It's on Roku. And how you're going to find that is sign into the channel store and look for UFO space P. You're going to type that into the search box. It'll be a drop-down list. We're about the third or fourth one down, and it's UFO space paranormal and United Public Radio. And that's how you can watch us over there. I think I've remembered everything. I'll probably forget something. And Julie Jean Bassett is here. Kathy Hanley Little. Hello. Everybody saying happy Canada's birthday, and to our brothers and sisters in the United States. I won't forget, but just in case I do, July the 4th is Independence Day in the US or United States birthday. Now, I've met many of my US friends that didn't know that Canada Day exists, but it does. And the reason why I know about July the 4th is because it's so close to our birthday. Never mind that, actually, an interesting fact, the majority of Canadians, not all of them, we all live within about 100-mile radius of the US border, myself included. I live about 40 minutes away from the Minnesota border, and I'm about 6.5 hours north of Minneapolis, Minnesota. So it was very easy to head over to the border and help our brothers and sisters in the US celebrate. And this show is global, by the way, along with our whole network. We do broadcast potentially, depending on who's watching, to every country in the world. And that's the cool part about the network. We get people from all over the world. We've got Patricia McDonald. She said hi from Halliburton, Ontario. Happy Canada Day. We've got Julie Evans, who is over in England, I believe, and it will be, let's see, 11:30 at night over there. So thank you for staying up late to join us this evening. Everybody saying Happy Canada Day. Thank you. I've got my Canada shirt on. It's actually got Deadpool, and it says Made in Canada, sorry, and then it says not sorry at the bottom. So I thought I would wear my Canadian one. Actually, I've got glasses, but they were really bright. There's lights with them. Hang on, I'll show you guys. I don't want to flash them for anybody, but see, we've got our Canada Day glasses. I'll probably be wearing those later. The fireworks are starting last night, and they will be on later on this evening if the weather holds off. And then we got our Canada Day hat here we'll put on for a little while here. So I'll put that on. So I figured I was going, like I said, to upload a show. Just been a rough day, and I was going to head out to camp because we don't have any internet out there. But there's too many people already uploading. We produce our own shows here, so there was no more room. So I said, you guys get stuck with little old me. So, and Julie, I saw your comment. Thank you. Julie Jean Bassett had offered to join me if I did, because my guest canceled for this evening, which I don't mind because I love doing shows with you guys on my own. But it was kind of a last minute decision. And I didn't want to hit you up at the last minute because I didn't really know what we were going to be doing. So, oh, that's okay. I don't know if she'll come back on or not. She's over in Spain, and it's obviously a little bit later at night, and some people are not night hawks like myself. And we were supposed to pre-record, but I believe she went on holidays. So I said, oh, that's okay. And that's why I was warning you over the last week that I didn't know if you guys were going to see me, or I had a good replay book too. So I'll have to save that for another day someday. So hang on, I'm going to grab a drink. I've got some spooky stuff we can talk about. We can talk about your gifts, accessing your spiritual gifts. We can talk about whatever you guys want. We can talk about music. We can talk about movies. We've done that before. We can talk about all kinds of things. I've seen some interesting video clips. Actually, I've been watching them this afternoon. And yeah, there's some spooky stuff going around the world. Now, I believe, please correct me if I'm wrong, but when I was doing my research, it looks like either today or on the weekend, it was UFO Day. So that's going on. A lot of people talking about that, as well as if you follow true crime. I find a lot of people in the paranormal world does follow true crime. The Karen Reid trial was on and was declared a mistrial just a couple hours ago. So I can't even imagine the stress for the victim's family and the girlfriend, Karen Reid herself. It's been a long road, and wow, I can't believe it. Oh, Kevin says he's never heard of UFO Day. Yeah, we've got a paranormal day. We've got a UFO day. Heck, I mean, there's some calendars out there that there's a special day to celebrate something. Ice cream, probably hot dogs, probably dogs and cats, and you name it. Every day of the year, it seems there's something somebody has labeled national or international celebration of something day. I also forgot to mention to you guys when I was telling you about myself, I think I cut myself off. I'll start over again. So I'm a psychic medium, crystal Reiki energy healer, Akashic Records practitioner, spiritual teacher and mentor, registered nurse, budding animal communicator, as well as well-versed in near-death experiences, having had one as a toddler myself, and have professionally and personally studied them for over 40 years. I was going to say 20. No, it's been 40. And what else? I'm very well versed in the paranormal, having lived in my previous home with extreme paranormal activity. And we've shared our story on the Travel Channel's Paranormal Survivor. It's season 4, episode 9, and it's called Demonic Hauntings. Julie, not budding. Yes, Julie, I got to give her a shout out, Julie Jean Bassett. She's an amazing animal communicator. I took her animal communication course, and I have also had some healing sessions with her as well. She's an incredible shamanic practitioner. So check her out at juliejeanbassett.com. So, well, I'm working on it still, Julie. I don't know if I would offer it out as services. I have been practicing, though. And every morning, what I usually do is I practice with the birds, and they're just little tiny finches. They're getting quite close, actually. And I was so happy for them. They keep building this nest right outside my window. I'm upstairs here in our house. And it's the perfect place because it's under the awning and there's a drainage pipe that backs right into the corner where they've been building the nest. So it's warm, it's protected from the elements. And I say they've got takeout right down below because I have a bunch of bird feeders for them. But this is the fourth time they've tried building it. And I think they finally got it right because they kept building it nice and cozy and secure, but too top heavy, and it kept falling into the garden below. There was actually, I saw the remnants of one little egg, so I felt very sad for that little one, but they haven't given up. So Julie says, that's awesome. Practice is key. Yes, it is key. So, my partner Dell plants a garden in the front and the back, and he said to me the other day, I finally understood. Now I know why there's a little divot or a little bit of a um, like a half circle into the dirt where the plants are planted. He goes, the birds are in there. I said, yeah, I know. They've created their own little dirt bath in there. I said, I watch them every morning. So yes, they do that, but I enjoy them. That's what I do to, well, connecting with spirit, right? And regardless of the weather, if it's cold or if it's raining or snowing, well, snow I don't mind, but if it's really cold, I do go outside every day. Every single day, sit outside, do some meditation, some grounding, connecting with spirit, and what have you. And Kevin says, I love that with the birds. So do I. The birds are great. Mind you, I noticed that somebody was using the garden as a washroom. Dell just got home from camp, actually. He was painting anyways, and it was beautiful this morning, but it's getting cloudy. So maybe, but you know what? It could be having a torrential hailstorm here, and you drive 25, 30 minutes, depending on the weather, to camp, and the weather could be beautiful there. It is absolutely incredible. Mind you, I've been noticing really weird weather trends. We live in a city that used to be two cities. It used to be called Fort William and Port Arthur. It's now called Thunder Bay. And I have noticed as of late, this, especially with this spring and summer, driving to a certain part of the city, stopping at a light, and the minute I go through the light, the weather changes. It could be pouring, and as I cross the light, there's no rain, and the sun is out. It is so strange. I've been noticing that more and more and more. Hi, Jennifer Frost Casista or Casista. I'm sorry if I didn't say that right. Please forgive me. So I even thought, you guys, we were going to do it on Thursday night, Dave and I. We can do some ghost box stuff if you want to. Try communicating with the other side, see who's out there, see if they'll come through with us, and if they've got any messages or you guys want to ask some questions. No, I don't have an SB7. Jonathan Keyworth, sometimes he'll pop in here. He has one. He keeps telling me, and he's told Dave the same thing. Oh yeah, I can get a secondhand one for $40. I have yet to find one for that price. Lowest price I found is about $200. So, needless to say, I have not purchased one just yet. I have a 3D printer that I'm hacking. I want to get into 3D printing. And the young man that sold it to me forgot to mention that the company had gone out of business. So it only uses this company's. I got the one that has it's called filament, the plastic that melts to do it. And yeah, you can only use their filament, it's called. Try and find a roll of that stuff. So yeah, I'm going to have to hack the machine. So that's what I'm going to. That's my next big project. Never mind, I'm making Halloween stuff, if you guys can believe this. I've been working on it for well, we have a big paranormal conference. I've mentioned it many times, being put on by Lucky Paranormal locally here. And we've got some pretty big people coming in. Canada's Beyond the Haunting. We've got our own Carrie Lynn Shellhorn here, Spirit Switchboard on Friday, 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern. And she's an incredible medium, paranormal investigator, and I just adore her. I cannot wait till we get to finally meet in person. There's also Jeff Belanger, I should say. I want to say French, but he says it the English way. There is Shane Pittman, Chris Rutkowski. He does UFOs and Bigfoot and things like that. I'm going to be speaking at it. Who else? I'm probably missing Dee McCauley, who's local from here. There's a whole bunch of people. There's a big room for the main speakers. I'm in the little bit smaller room, which is not a problem for me. I'm just glad that I was asked to even be a part of it. So we also have merch tables. So I am making every kind of Halloween thing you guys can think of, between polymer clay and resin, and I just got another new ghost mold, cute ghost things. I'm looking into some more alien ufology type stuff. I even have a Bigfoot thing. I figure if it's going to be paranormal, we're going to make some spooky stuff. So, oh, Jennifer, I would love to see some of your stuff. I should have grabbed it. I also have some spiritual stuff. It's downstairs. So I make pendulums. I have one that I just love that I made for myself actually when I took Julie's animal communication course, and it has a little teeny tiny cat inside of it. I have another one kind of Mickey Mouse colors. It's red with black, and it's got little silver flickery Mickey Mouse. Some that look like crystals. I make like how do I want to say what they are? They're crystal charging plates, but it's got Metatron's cube inside, so it's all painted and with crystals inside. I make runes, you name it. I used to say I had over 200 molds. I probably have over 300 now. So anything you can think of, I can make. So let's see your comments here. Um, Kevin says, that is freaky. Noticed a lot of things with the weather this year. At least crazy sun does not last. It typically cools down at night, even if it's hot in the daytime, mostly a balance too. Now you're on the East Coast. Yes, it has not been the warmest of summers here. We had a really warm winter, and I noticed like usually we're really hot. The one thing I've been noticing though, talking to David, my co-host, and one of my really close friends that Julie knows, Leanne, they always marvel if they're talking to me on video and it's still light out because it's darker there. And I told them in the summertime, and we're getting into that time right now, the sun starts coming up around 4:30, quarter to 5, and it usually does not go down completely till 11 o'clock at night. So we've got a lot of daylight. Um, and Kevin said, look how mild our winter was. Yep, compared to last year. Do I have an Etsy store? You know what? I'm so awful with this. And I was thinking about this today because I need to get my business. And thank you, Julie, sent me some info. I am looking into that. I am going to, because normally I offer readings, I offer energy healing sessions, I do teaching and mentoring. And before, I still have a Facebook page that I use, but it has not been good with the scheduling, and there's a lot of communication involved, which isn't a problem, but I'm starting to get busier. So I am looking for a one-stop shop where people can go in, book their reading, it will notify me, pay ahead of time, and we're done. And then the same thing with all of the articles that I have, and I have a lot, and I've been thinking, I wonder if I should just post them on Facebook and social media because, for example, I got two new molds. One is a pumpkin and it's like a trinket mold. It's really cute. And then the other one's a bat. And you could put like your rings, or I don't know, you could put batteries. You could put, depending on who you are, you need something to hold small pieces of any. They're about this big. For people watching, I'll say about 6 inches long by about 4 inches. I may have all kinds of little jars, you name it, I can make it. So Jennifer says, hi, Julie Dow. And Jennifer says, I think you should post some things. I should, because I have taken over my kitchen and dining room, and I have so many finished pieces and they need to get done. So, well, maybe I'll ask you guys while we're here. We got the chance. What would you look for? Would you want jewelry, like in the way of earrings or necklaces, bracelets, more spiritual type stuff, spooky stuff, because it'll be around Halloween, right? When I'm going to be putting this out there. Hi, Gwen Patterson. I haven't seen you in forever. Nice to have you here. And Diane Brighton says, cool crafts. I used to make glow in the dark, Fimo jewelry and objects, Halloween stuff, black and green fluorescent. I love that. Yes, I am into Fimo. For people that don't know what Fimo is, or Sculpey, or Cernet, it's polymer clay. And what it is, it's like sculpting. You have to usually condition it. So for those of us with arthritis, you use a manual pasta machine to condition it, and then you use it just like regular clay. It can go in molds, it can go, you can make things by hand. And once you have it all created, you stick it in the oven and you bake it. And when it comes out, it turns into almost like a hard plastic. It is so cool. So, yes, and I even have more molds coming now that I'm thinking of it, because I have a little, well, I love crafting. That's another reason way I connected the other side is, especially when it's quieter at night. I'm a night person. And while I'm creating and it's keeping the mind part of us, of our brain busy, that's when I connect with spirit a lot. Um, so Diane says I use a rubber hammer. I have metal. If you, there's not a craft that you can mention to me that I probably have not done or have things to do. Like, I met up with a lady locally here, and she, when she opens her store, I told her I will be telling all of you all about it. She isn't able to work anymore, so she's at home. TV gets old fast when you're not able to go to work, believe me, when I hurt my back. So you got to do something to keep your mind busy. And so, like, I've taught myself, nowadays I couldn't build a website coding. I guess I could if I spent enough time, but back in, God, what was it? The early 2000s. I did build my own website. I taught myself programming language and did that. So I'm always busy. I'm learning something, doing something. And she does the same thing, but hers is crafting. And so she was selling a lot of her craft stuff because she's getting into 3D printing. So we had quite an interesting conversation about that, because I bought some molds, and they're called cup turners, because I do make actually the tumblers. I haven't made any in a while, but I do make those as well. So what was I going? Oh, she has decided she wants to get more into jewelry making. I do make jewelry, and we have a lot of local crystals in Thunder Bay here. We are known for, I'm wearing it. This one's named He Needs a Bath. This is called a Super 7 or Melody Stone. So there is actually 7 crystals in one here. This is one of the best places in the world to find them, in Thunder Bay. We also have aventurine, amethyst. Like, we have amethyst mines. You could go to an amethyst mine and go pick your own amethyst. Don't get me wrong, you're not going to get massive, beautiful pieces, but I will show you this one piece. My son was out at one of the watering swimming holes, sort of more rurally, and he was walking along. Now, this one doesn't do it justice. This amethyst was just laying on the ground. He brought me so many pieces. Yeah, that's what Diane says, amethyst. I got it on the road in Thunder Bay in 1970s. Yeah. So this does not do it justice. I have other pieces that I put in the garden. But if you saw it in person, that's the other reason why I haven't posted my my crafts. I find that photos do not do resin pieces justice. They just don't, because when you use really beautiful colors and what have you. So I'm kind of going back and forth. Do I want to put a video with it? What do I want to do? Because they just don't show up like they do in person when you see them. So Jennifer says, very cool. I would love some crystals. Yeah. So I told her when she gets her business up and running, I will definitely let you guys know, because I know a lot of people love crystals, and especially local ones from here. They'll be really special where you won't be able to get other ones. I did make a ring. It's taken forever to harden, with my partner Dell's cousin's dad's ashes from last year. And I knew him quite well too. And so I started it. I want to put one more. It's taken me a year to get the whole thing to harden and what have you. I'm missing something. I did start talking to this lady locally here that I was just mentioning about the crystals. And we got talking about what kind of resin to use. And then we ended up talking about something else. So I may ask her advice on it, but she made the most beautiful abalone ring. So when she's got her stuff up and running, I will definitely let you go. No. Okay, I'm going to go back a bit. I'm missing as I'm talking. So we've got Julie says, funny how crafts can just take over. Crafts have taken over my office. But wouldn't you agree, for any of you that connect to spirit, right? when you're doing something that really is peaceful and enjoyable, especially if it allows for creativity or working with animals, for example, but you're doing it maybe not as a job, but for the pure pleasure of it, it's when it's the easiest, I think, to be able to connect to the other side. I really, really do. Now, maybe that's just me, but that's why I do it. So Kathy Hanley Little said spiritual things. So she'd be interested in spiritual things. Okay. Meaning in the way I know I'd asked you guys in the way of what would you be interested in if you saw something for sale? Um, Diane said I combine psychic with objects I made personally for individuals after tuning into them. Definitely. The other thing I will do, especially with my spiritual stuff, is I Reiki them before I send them and I let people know what they are. Patricia McDonald said, crystal and energy wands. Every pendulum I ever owned has broken, but I love looking at them. Well, that's interesting that they break every one that you've owned. Maybe it's a sign from the other side that maybe not meant to be using those kind of pendulums. I don't know. My pendulums, I can put crystals in them, but they're made out of resin. So they're made out of like a hard plastic, right? And like Julie just said, it brings joy, which raises your vibration, which makes it easier to connect with spirit. Absolutely. That's absolutely true. Hang on, I'm going to grab a drink here. So let's get on with some stuff to do. So I don't know, you guys want to do the ghost boxes? You want to watch some of these spooky videos? And I agree, Julie, that's how I meant to say it, and you were absolutely right. She said for the person who meant that every pendulum breaks. She said it much better than I did, and I'm giving her the credit because she did. This is what I meant to say. Julie said, Jean Bassett said it means you don't need it, the crystal, anymore. That is absolutely right and absolutely correct. Absolutely. That's where I was going with it and got talking here. I'm trying to think as I'm listening to spirit and I'm thinking ahead as I'm talking here. So you guys got to forgive me. Ghost boxes, Jennifer says. Okay, let's start with that. We got some spooky, interesting videos too. I'd love to hear your thoughts on. Hang on, I'll see what we're going to try here. Um, hmm. Paranormal. So we got Ghost Tube. Let's try Ghost Tube. I think I got to turn my ringer on my phone to use it. Oh, I just turned it off. Hang on. Um, yeah, we'll try it and see. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So if I'm outside, I may get a lot more. And Kevin says videos are fun. It sparks conversation. Well, we'll get all of that done tonight. I promise you, we will. Okay, what do we got here? Um, okay, it says it's listening. Does anybody have a question? We'll see what happens. Well, this video does not want to turn off the ghost tube here. Okay, I know you're listening. So if anybody's got a question, Diane says, I've had black tourmaline jewelry explode when around negativity. I would believe that. Absolutely. Um, that can happen. I just love when I meet people that have never heard of crystals. I've got this on while I'm waiting if someone has a question they want to ask. And if we don't hear anything on this app, we'll try another one. But where was I going with that? Oh, when people have never heard of crystals before and they say, aren't crystals just rocks?
Can you hear it?
So it just said, can you hear it? We're waiting to hear you. So Kevin, or Z Sun Dragon, wants to know if you could please help us out. If you have an answer for him, somebody from his side, from his team, or anyone says, will I stay at the same job? Or Jennifer Frost Casista says, should my sister go back to work? So let's see. That was interesting that it came through. Can you hear it? So we'll see what happens. If this one we don't get too much, there's always different ones you can try. So I have a few down. I haven't used one in a long time, actually. It's listening. They'll give it a minute here. In a way, and Diane Brighton asked, is my dad here in spirit for Canada Day? I already know the answer to that. What? Someone doesn't know what a crystal is? Julie says, yes, I have met people that have no idea what a crystal is. None at all. Um, you're being kind of quiet here, so we're going to give you a few more seconds. If not, we're going to try a different one. Hi, Michelle Plummer. She says, hi, hey, everyone, hanging out too. That's the cool part about it. Well, I'm going to count you down to from 5. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, we'll try a different one, you guys. I'm going to sit here in silence all night long. Excuse me. I'm going to try necrophonic. And we got spirit talker, we got the ovulus, we got lots here. So let's turn over this way. I hope it doesn't have too much reverb on here or echo. I understand why it does, but it makes it very hard to hear. Okay, so can you stop for a second? We just have a question. So what we're going to ask for Kevin, will I stay at the same job? So Kevin wants to know, Z Sun Dragon, will he stay at the same job? I heard a yes right away, but let's see. Hearing a lot of helps. Turn the sweep rate down a little bit. See. I heard another yes. So you guys tell me if you hear anything. There's a different one I want to try though. Sorry guys, hang on for a sec here. There's a different one I wanted to try that I've seen some better. Yeah, I thought it was Spirit. Is it Spirit Talker? Yeah, let's try Spirit Talker because I think it's so. Jennifer says she thought she heard a yes too. Julie says she thought she heard a no. I did hear a no, and I also heard. I think I got to start it. There, we're starting it. Okay, so this is a little slower. So let's see what comes through here. So, Kevin, I heard a yes. You just said the same thing. Cool. I heard a yes at first too. Let me go back. And Jennifer, I believe you had Ashton, my sister, go back to work. You heard a yes. Diane Brighton, is my dad here in spirit for Canada Day? I heard a huge yes. I guess it depends on events, lol. That one was just too much. I think if you're in a place and you want to maybe pick, because I think that one uses more radio waves, so it's not an SB7, the one before this, necrophonic, but it's really sweeping, so I think it picks up a lot of radio little chitter chatter as it's sweeping. So sometimes Spirit Talker works, sometimes it doesn't. We'll just have to see. Ovulus sometimes works. I'm not really upset if I don't hear a lot of activity in here because it means then hopefully we don't have too many people popping in to say hello is what I'm saying. And I don't mean on the positive side. I'll always take positive, but not the negative. And as you guys have known, or I've shared with you before, I've had more than a lifetime share of negative activity. We're following you. I don't know if you guys can see that.
We're following you.
As I say, I don't want any negative. Who's following me? Who is following me? Or were you talking about somebody in the audience? Kevin says, yes, that makes sense, Lorilei. I'll get more going outside because you got to remember, I'm in a townhouse. It's concrete. So I don't go into eternity.
Go into eternity.
I have no idea what that meant. So Jennifer, should we keep the name Poppy for our new dog? Jennifer wants to know that. Could you answer that for her, please? Whoever's listening. We'll see what it says. I heard yes for you, Jennifer. Like I same as Diane, I heard that yes, of course your dad's there with you. We'll see. Give it a few minutes here and see what you got to say. Or do you have any advice besides going to eternity? So Michelle Plummer's asking too. Do I need to be concerned about the guests coming to visit this summer? We'll see what it says. Everybody's going to be quiet tonight. They're all at the fireworks for Canada. They're all visiting over here, I guess, and getting revved up for the US, maybe. So hang on, I got to plug my phone in. Are you guys, everybody's going to be quiet. You were talking and now you're quiet. If Jonathan pops in here, I'll put him on the spot. He wants to fire up his SB. Fall. Kevin says he heard yes for Poppy, but he got that from Spirit. So did I. And Julie Jean Bassett also said, I got a yes too, Jennifer, regarding your dog Poppy. She likes the name. Yeah, so you got 3 people all connecting to the other side telling you that it's a cute name. Yeah, she connects with it. Don't leave. They don't want us to leave, you guys. This is what it's saying. Don't leave. So maybe they're just going to pop in here. Michelle, what I'm going to answer, if that's okay for you, your question is, Michelle Plummer, do I need to be concerned about the guests coming to visit this summer? Now, it was interesting. The answer that eventually came through was fall. I don't know why. It could have been autumn, maybe, but I get the feeling that, and feel free anybody else to pop in too, because a lot of people that are intuitive here, is not not so much concerned, but that if possible, could they possibly stay somewhere else? Of course, now I'm getting messengers. Oh, so Jennifer sent me a picture. Hang on. This is Poppy. Oh my goodness. We will show Poppy in just a minute, I promise. Okay, when we're going to get into video. So, or are the guests going to leave? That was what I was getting to. Patricia, if it was you that asked that question. No, Michelle answered. So Patricia said, or are the guests not going to leave? My concern was a short stay may be okay. But if possible, you may want to suggest another place for them to stay. I don't know if you're worried about something going missing, or you don't have to answer, but I'm going to give you part from a human perspective and part from the other side. If you're going to have people staying at your place that you have concerns about from a human perspective, that's a red flag right there that you're asking. Because if you're not sure about somebody coming to stay with you,
Eleanor.
The name Eleanor came through right now. So maybe it's Eleanor speaking right now with us during the conversation. I'm not sure. I'm just passing that along. So I keep getting the feeling like, if possible, you may want to keep the visit very short if you cannot avoid it. Or
Walter.
And Walter too is here. Or you could possibly suggest that there may be a better place for them to stay. So Jennifer, okay, I'm going to read all the comments here. So Patricia McDonald first said, or are the guests not going to leave? Hang on. Okay, what about Walter? Oh, who knows an Eleanor and who knows the Walter? Kevin wants to know. But before we go, don't leave my job. That's what Kevin says. Okay. Michelle Plummer says, yes, that would be concerning with what Patricia asked. Would they not leave? And Jennifer also added, I feel that too about her guests. So if it's completely unavoidable, this is coming from Spirit, really strongly suggests that the visit be very short. But from a human being perspective, the fact that you're asking that question, there's nothing wrong with asking that question. That means you have reservations already and you've got some concerns. Now, remember, everybody, that your home is supposed to be a place of peace, sanctity, and security. So by bringing somebody else into your home that you're asking, should I be concerned? Your spidey senses are up, is what I'm saying. There's a reason why your spidey senses are up. Now we got a Tom. We got all these people putting their names in here. We got a Tom too. So I would really strongly suggest, if at all possible, I don't know, I keep hearing maybe suggesting a bed and breakfast, or I don't know if they're going to be coming through camping or something. If they've got a camper, that they may want to stay there. But if you're not feeling good about them being in your home, I would really try to close that can of worms, meaning that, something's come up, we've got somebody else coming to stay, or another suggestion. Just what I'm feeling and picking up. Oh, Michelle Plummer says those names are all connected to me. So, okay, so Tom, Walter, Eleanor, we've got Michelle Plummer here who says these names are connected to her. Do you have a message for her? And Kevin says, I had an Uncle Walter that passed years ago. And Michelle Plummer says, Walt is the husband of an aunt that is here right now. Interesting. Julie Jean Bassett agrees about the guests, about what I was sharing from the human perspective I was picking up, as well as from the spirit side of it. Kathy Hanley Little says, Eleanor is my mother's name and my grandmother. Walter is a grand uncle. Michelle Plummer says, that's my dad. I don't know. So we've got Tom, Walter, and Eleanor. And less time to cause havoc. Yeah, that's kind of what I keep feeling like
The
this is.
dead.
Now they've all answered this is the dead. This is what just came through. So these are people I'm thinking from the other side. And Michelle says, I've been going through all those dialogues. Thank you. Yes. Diane Brighton said, my Uncle Tom, he went missing in 1962. Now, Kevin also is adding about the guests coming. I'm getting make it a shorter visit and make up a reason why. Yeah, that's what I'm feeling. I keep feeling like this is a concern about security. Like, are these people going to have sticky fingers? Like, is that maybe one of the concerns? So I'm not really sure. But again, trust your instinct. Always trust your instincts, you guys, and your gut, if you will. You want to call it your gut, your intuitive side, your connection to spirit, whatever you feel, trust it. Because I always, when I do readings with people, and they can be, I never seem to get the time anymore to be able, I used to do one question readings all the time. I still have the spirit box going. And when people would ask certain questions, is my partner cheating on me? Is it this? Is it that? Right? The reason why people ask is because it's always nice to hear an opinion from the other side as well as from another person's perspective. But realize within yourself that when you have a question like that, you already know something is up.
We hear you.
They just said, we hear you. So you're saying the safety of your littles. If that's what your concern is, Michelle, it's Michelle. That's who asked this, right? I want to make sure. Let me go back. I want to make sure I have the right person here. I am going to tell you right now, 100%. The fact that you are concerned about your littles, and I have goosebumps. I don't know if you can see, I'm getting goosebumps at this. Under no sense, no way, no how, if you're asking me. And I am completely covered in goosebumps over that. Now, again, maybe I'm uber sensitive about this because of what's happened to me as a little girl. But the fact that you, as our mama, okay, never
Introduce yourself.
Introduce yourself. Well, my name's Lorilei, and you are live on my show, The Angel Rock, whoever's here. And we are asking questions. You're welcome to join in and offer your 2 cents worth from a place of love and for people's highest good, as well as we're answering questions here. So the fact that you are worried about your little ones, number one priority. The fact that you were asking, I was going there anyways with this conversation. No, Now, again, I never tell people what to do, but if you are asking me, that is a huge red flag. The fact that you are worried about the safety of your littles if you have these people in your home. Remember how that conversation, that after you asked the question, I said your place should be a place of security, peace, sanctity, your home. When Jennifer Frost Casista just said that's a hard no. Kevin Ozzy Sundragon, yeah, we're all getting the same. I also get the feeling that there's going to be some issues around security in the way of, I don't know if these people might have some sticky fingers or what, but yeah. And Diane Brighton just said, safeguard your children from anyone you don't trust. Bad vibes are real. And that's even before you had mentioned that little bit of feedback. And I don't care if anybody thinks it's all in your head. I don't care if you hear
1700s.
Oh, okay, you're from the 1700s? Okay, thank you. We're going to switch apps in a little bit anyways while we're talking about this. But that's where I was going with this before I even knew what this was about. When people ask questions, like, it doesn't mean just even a question like this. When we're asking about something going on in our life, and there's nothing wrong with asking it. That's what I was saying. Okay. It's good to sometimes hear, when you really want to know, am I maybe not seeing all sides of this question? What's going on? Maybe sometimes it's good to have an objective opinion when you know somebody has your back and they're coming from a place of good for you or love. Okay. But always trust that when you've got a question like that, we can go within and ask, why am I wondering this? Why am I, whatever that is, the question, right? And I'm going to use the example of, is my partner cheating on me? Excuse me. The fact that somebody is questioning, is my partner cheating on me? And again, there is no judgment here. There is no right or wrong. It's the fact that the person asking the question. Now we've got Robinson. Sorry, guys. I'll turn that off just for a sec because I think this is important, this conversation. The fact that somebody is picking that up and asking that question. Now, it doesn't always mean that your significant other is cheating on you. What it means, it could mean that we'll take Mary. Mary's asking, is my partner Bob cheating on me? Okay. It doesn't mean that Bob necessarily is cheating on her, but to go within and we ask ourselves, why am I asking this question? What am I feeling? What is happening that is making me feel this way? Right? And then you start to get some of the answers. Well, maybe they're staying at work later than usual. Maybe they're going out after work and they never go out after work. What I'm saying is something's changed, and to take a look at what's changed. Are they cheating on you? Because sometimes there's people that will think their significant other is cheating on them and they're not, but they've been through a lot of previous relationships where that's happened. Could be uber sensitive to it, but it might mean that there needs to be a conversation about this with your significant other. Maybe you need to look at counseling if you choose to continue the relationship. But the point is, something is happening that is causing us to ask this question. And where I'm going with this is, you don't always need a psychic or a medium to answer it. It's nice. Believe me, I'd love to work with anybody that wants to work with me. But my point is, we all have that inner knowledge and wisdom within. To take a little bit of time to stop when it's quiet, breathe. If you can, center yourself and ask yourself, why am I asking this question? Why am I doubting whatever it may be, right? Or should we move? Should I go to a new job? Should I do this? Should I do that? Right? We're asking it because we're feeling like, first of all, does the change need to be happening? Do I stay where things are safe and predictable? And I know, say with the job, where my income's coming from. But I'm not happy at my job. So do I leave my job? Do I stay? What do I do? You see where I'm going with this? But there's always a reason why we ask a question. And again, good to sometimes get an objective opinion of somebody you trust and you know has your back, because we may not be seeing all sides of the situation. But we have a lot of inner knowledge and wisdom within to go within and to trust what we are receiving. Hang on, I'm going to go a little bit further with this, or with the comments, so I'm going to go back. So Julie Jean Bassett says, I agree with Lorilei too. Security is an issue. Listen to your gut and intuition. Yeah, because I really felt that really strongly when you were asking that, Michelle. Like this, you were worried about these people stealing something. And I don't know if you are or not, but even the fact that you're worried about your littles, that's stealing, that could potentially be stealing a little's safety, security. within their own home. The fact that you've got a question, and again, nobody can tell you what to do, but trust your instincts, especially as their mama. Trust your instincts, regardless of what somebody tells you. If you feel this and you are concerned, and you have the right to just say no. Remember, we are all mama grizzly bears, and I don't care if it's a dad that's a mom and a dad. When and I don't care if you're a pet parent or what you are, a child parent, whatever you are, when you're looking after somebody that is relying on us for their safety and security, to put a roof over their head, to protect them, that's all that comes first. Don't worry about hurting other people's feelings. And that's the one time I will say that, because you're number one priority. And again, whether it's a child, it's an innocent little puppy, like what we're going to show very shortly, Poppy. Jennifer was so kind to send us a picture, and I will share it, is the fact that they are relying on us to provide that safety and security, and to bring somebody into your home that you are concerned about the safety of your little ones. If you are asking, you're asking me, that is a hard no, like somebody said. That is the one time I would not be afraid to hurt somebody's feelings and just say nope. And I'm going to give you an example of this. As I've mentioned many times, I'm estranged from my family for many reasons. And my youngest son, who's now 26, has severe autism. And the one time my parents, I asked very little to babysit them, ever. And my eldest was going for his Taekwondo belt, to get his black belt with his dad. They were both going for it. And I wanted to be there for them. So I asked my parents to babysit my youngest. He's about 4 and he was nonverbal. All I heard about when I picked him up an hour and a half later was my son's name. Hit your father. And my son was nonverbal. And I said, well, what happened? Nothing. And I said, did you hit him back? Because I do not hit my children, especially when I think you're trying to teach a child that hands are used for kindness and loving, hands down. We basically not to hurt other people. I'm not going to be teaching him not to hurt other people if I'm using my own hands to discipline him. Just my words, my choices. I'm not judging anybody else. I found out from a relative. I knew intuitively that they had hit him, and he couldn't tell me. I found out from another relative. They had been going on and on and on about my son had hit my father, a little 4-year-old hitting a grown adult. There had to be a reason. My son wouldn't have just hit somebody for no reason. That they indeed did smack him back. And I didn't do this to punish my parents in any way, shape, or form, but my parents were never allowed alone with my son again. Ever. Ever, ever, ever. And when I became estranged, my son has never been over there. Ever. My eldest, yes, when he was old enough to understand, and I won't get into my whole family dynamics, but the point is, my youngest I need to protect him. And if he hasn't got the words to tell me or something like that, never put him in that situation again. And again, I wasn't coming from a place of hatred or anger or punishment or anything. It was the sole safety and security of my son. And I usually don't get into a lot of intimate details like this, but I feel it's important to share this and where I'm coming from and why I'm giving you the advice that I did from the human perspective as well as from a spirit perspective. Hang on, I'm going to go through your comments. Michelle says, thank you, everyone. And I'm glad that you felt safe enough to ask that question here too, Michelle. So thank you. Diane Brighton said, my dad's friend was there. We found out before he passed he was, oh boy, I can't say that word on YouTube. Let's just say that he was harming children. We'll leave it at that. And with family and friends, kids, and then adults. And Kathy Honey Little said, that's her intuition that's warning you, Michelle. And free will, say no if it makes you uncomfortable or you have concerns. Yeah. And Diane Brighton saying red flag. And then I have an image in my mind of Poppy. Curious to see if it's correct. All right, you guys, I won't make you wait any longer. We've got 2 Michelles here. So hang on. I want to make sure. It was Jennifer, I think, that sent me this, though, too. Yes, it was. Okay, my memory's not going on me that bad here. Hang on. Oh my gosh, I can't stand it. I should go on and on and on and on, right? And not share. Would that not be mean? Hang on, guys. I'll share. Tell us all about Poppy, Jennifer. Oh my gosh, I'm almost in tears. This little one's so cute. Okay, you guys, here comes Poppy. Hang on. Or whatever, unless you change her name. This is Poppy, Jennifer Frost Casista's little one. Hang on, I'm going to go a little lower here. Hang on, I want to remove that comment so we can get the full gist of Miss Poppy here. Oh, she's a week old. Oh, okay. So, Kevin, is this the image you had in your mind of Poppy? And I'll see if I can make it bigger because there's nothing like a ginormous picture of Poppy. Is she a Sheltie, Jennifer? Everybody's going, Poppy. So how old is Poppy? Now my dog thinks she's coming. Your name's not Poppy, it's Emmy. An Aussie, a mini Aussie doodle. Okay. Oh my goodness. How old now? Everybody's like, oh, such an adorable cutie pie. Absolutely adorable. Yes, no, you're itchy. Oh my god, my dog just came over for a good scratch because of course I used the baby voice, so she thought I was talking to her. Hmm? Okay, you go lay down now. Go lay down. She has her pride collar on today, right? Well, some pride's over now, but she has her rainbow collar on for pride. Oh, she was born June 18th. Oh, so you still don't have her yet, right? Because how old would she be? Barely 3 weeks. Oh, so she still hasn't come home yet. Oh, do you have to wait till she's 8 weeks, Jennifer? Hello, I'm popping over to Instagram as I'm waiting. We've got probably people popped in and popped out. Sorry, guys, but we had Carrie Lynn Chalhorn. She popped in. D Clove One joined, and EMRTEKINC. I don't know how to say that word. I'm sorry, but if you're there, hi, welcome. And oh, Michelle Plummer is saying, oh, so sweet. I love puppy breath. And Jennifer says her eyes aren't even open yet. Oh my goodness, that is the longest when you have to wait for the little one to come home. I have been there before from the day they've been born, before they've been born, as I'm sure lots of people have been, and then you wait and you have to wait till they come home. Oh, Jennifer, you're going to have to update us with pictures and let us know, like, all about her, and if you guys stay with the name Poppy but yep, sounds like she likes her name. Oh, that's so cool. She's so sweet. Oh, thank you for sharing the picture. Thank you. Thank you. So do you guys want to we can try another app? And Jennifer M says, so precious and happy Canada Day. Dan Brighton said, looks like Puppy's going to be big. I don't know. I think she's pretty tiny in the picture, Diane. It might have been because I pulled it up. If she's a mini, I don't think she'll be too big, right? Probably like well, I don't know, Jennifer, you can tell us. She's coming home August 11th. My birthday's August 15th, so I can celebrate that week. You have to remind me. Let's have coming home with Poppy, and usually do a birthday thing that week. I don't even know who's coming on. I guess I should check. Let me check. Somebody's coming on that week. Last summer, I had a lot of free dates. This year, I did not. So let's see who's coming August. Oh, so she's coming home on this Sunday. Oh, we're having an awesome guest. We are having Rhonda Harris, and Howie's not here. He's with the Riff Nation Network. We've been on his show, and his co-host Rhonda's coming on, and she's absolutely a sweetheart. I just love her. Yeah, we have some interesting guests coming on. Very interesting guests this summer. We have a returning guest who some of you may know, some of you may not. I think she's coming in September, if I remember correctly. Carmen Turner Schott is coming on. She's an incredible astrologist, and she's a social worker. She's an author, and she's the first person, with no disrespect to anybody who does astrology, but I find people in this field, you either really know it, you love it, you get it, it's your thing, or you get those of us like myself who understand a bit about it, but have never felt a pull or a draw towards it. And she actually helped me understand quite a bit about what astrology was. And she did have, for the longest time, on her website, a free birth chart. Like, we're talking 28-page birth chart with the explanation and everything. She's got something else on her page now, but she's super awesome. Everybody always loves her when she comes on, so she's coming on. So Jennifer says she's going to be about 20 pounds. Yeah, that's what I pictured. Not really big, but not like a little peanut size like she is now. So actually, I had my grand puppies last weekend. My son and his fiance, they were going to a little city called Fort Francis that borders the US. You just cross the bridge and you're in the US. I think it's International Falls, it's called. Anyways, they were going for a pride performance because my eldest son does drag. So I had the grand puppies last week and they were so much fun. I love when they come. My dog's a German Shepherd, and my son's dog, he just turned 3. I don't know why my son named him this, pierogi, like the Polish cheese and potato dumpling pierogi. We are not Ukrainian or Polish, but we call him Rogi. He's a Boston Terrier. And when my son got him, he was no bigger than my fist, like just this little peanut of a thing. And from day one, my ginormous German Shepherd and Rogi have been best friends. And all they do is play and play and play and play and play. Rogi just turned 3 and Emmy's going to be 5. Actually, I think I always forget what date her birthday is. I'm not a bad mom. It's just that when we got her, I think it's July 16th. I have to check it. Um, I always forget what date it is for her birthday. Please forgive me, but I do. She's going to be 5, but they have played nonstop. Well, Kevin, I don't know if I'm ever going to have grandchildren. My youngest will never be a father. And I don't say that like disrespectfully. It's just the nature of his level of autism. And my oldest son is gay. So they talk about having kids and maybe they will, but I'm not the type of mom that pressures my kids for grandkids. Or same thing, I don't call them 20 times a day. I always tell them it's not that I don't think about you. I do. I said, you know where your mother is. My son's super busy. He works with Two Spirit, my eldest, Two Spirit First Nations adolescents and First Nations women. He does drag and he's working full time, like 60, 80 hours a week. And he's gone back to school to get his social work degree. He's going into 3rd year this year. So he is super, super busy. Plus, they have a house and yeah. So when I get to see the grandpups, I get to see the grandpups. So I was glad to have them. So it was nice. So are you guys ready for, holy cow, you guys. I swear my energy was dragging tonight. Speaking of children with special needs, I don't know what it is. I normally have the patience of Job, but last night I was creating a stencil for my partner to paint. He's doing painting at the camp, and it was finicky little pieces. I was ready to toss it. And then my son today hasn't had a day like this in a long time, but he's had a really rough day today. Very rough. So yes, Diane, pierogies. Well, they're that's the way I've heard them describe pierogies. Is they're like well, if you think about it, like gyoza and what is it? Is that Japanese? There's Japanese, there's Korean. They're kind of like that noodly sort of type covering, right? And they're usually filled with something with pierogies. It could be cheese. It could be, I've seen people put cottage cheese. I've seen them jam. I've seen people put all kinds of stuff in them. Oh, Kevin says, I thought you said people were kind of kind of dumplings. Yeah, Diane, it is Ukrainian, but it's also Polish too. It is. I know that for a fact because my sister-in-law is Polish. You are right though, but pierogi is definitely Ukrainian, yes. And my partner Dell is Ukrainian and First Nations Cree actually. So yes. So I don't know. I'm not an expert on them. I've made them before with my back. I'll never make them again. I'll leave that up to other people. There's so much work. So, but anyways, I don't know how my brand puppy. The other one is Scouter. Scouter is a beagle corgi, and he is the smartest dog I know. He's a senior, and he is so patient with these two goofballs together. And then my cat Socks thinks he's a dog, so Socks goes and joins the whole crew. So I have 4 of them all playing and running around in the house when they're here. It's lots of fun. Okay, let's get to some of these spooky videos, you guys. I figure, as I see, potentially Miss Poppy. Well, I don't know. I guess you'll have to get your family. I'll have to decide too if they want to call her Poppy, but she certainly suits the name. I'll tell you, Jennifer. Hang on now. I got to find me on here. I was going to show you guys a different video, but this was actually a really good one, this one. So give me a minute. I'm going to close it. No, stop. I was pretty far along in it, but I'll start right at the beginning. There was actually this one had quite a bit of spooky stuff. It was on Bizarre Bob, because I was going to show you guys the latest Nukes Top 5. And then I thought, I wonder what Bizarre Bob has. And I got to thank Shannon Casey. Sometimes she pops in on Monday night. She works evenings, so usually Thursday she's here on the thing at the foot of the bed with her hubby Sean in the audience. And she had suggested this channel. And the first video I watched, I wasn't super impressed with it, but I hung in there and kept watching it. And I got to say, I think he's been putting better stuff out than Nuke's Top 5. Excuse me. So for people that have never heard of these channels on YouTube, people send in their spooky, scary clips, and both of these channels never tell you what to think. They just share a bit of the backstory. And I know with Nuke's top 5, his tagline is it all just an elaborate hoax? You decide. So this is from Bizarre Bob. So let me get this shared here and share screen. It's called Scary Compilation V84. Give me a minute. I'll find the date for you guys. Give me a sec for people listening, because 80% of our listening audience is audio only. It was from about 8 months ago. Actually, he's got a lot of subscribers. He's got 2.01 million subscribers. That's a lot of subscribers. So, as always, when we share a video, with fair use, we do have to stop it a little bit in between every now and then and talk about it. That's just the guidelines for YouTube, so they don't strike you. So just so you know. So we're going to start this out, and it's pretty self-explanatory. So hang on.
Now, this next video was submitted to me by Christian Breen, who just received a strange video from a friend. The friend in question is known as Amanda, and according to Christian, Amanda specializes in talking to the dead. It seems that she's been doing this for a while, so much so that she considers herself as a full-on medium. Given her ability to contact and see the dead, she occasionally gets distracted by things or people that don't appear to be there. In one instance, Amanda was doing a live stream with 2 friends, when all of a sudden, something from the corner of the room catches her attention. Afterwards, things get pretty strange. Watch.
Okay, so I'm going to stop it there. What I want you guys to watch, if you're watching or you're not listening, on this screen, so her 2 friends are on top and she's on the bottom of the screen. She is home alone right now, and you're going to pay attention to the cat that's going to be behind her on the couch and watch the door behind her. Okay, so hang on.
Good?
He drank all of it.
Yeah. You good?
Like 10 minutes this went on. And I'm like, oh my God, could you stop?
Oh, you're looking at your cat.
No, somebody just walked through my kitchen and Bobby freaked out. Did you see him run?
I saw, yeah.
He's still sitting there looking at it.
Bobby is the cat's name.
What is it?
And his tail is
Yeah, I saw his
swishing.
tail.
I'll move.
Is the person still there?
Bobby, you okay? I don't know. It still feels really weird in here, but I only saw that for a second. That's also the same direction that when you said that there were.
Watch the cat.
Oh my God, it's Brendan. He's outside now. Thank
Oh.
God. Brendan? No, he's not.
Brendan.
Stop, Amanda. No, it's not.
Brendan
not.
is her husband.
There's
Stop.
literally.
Wait, how'd your door just open?
No one's out there.
You're lying.
How did her door
No,
just
I'm
open?
not.
Okay, so Bobby, just for those of you that were listening, Bobby is the cat. Brendan is her husband's name, and Brendan is not home, as you're going to hear right now.
Is he messing with you?
No.
Oh, your mom or something.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna text someone.
I told him to come down here.
I literally live in the middle of nowhere. You guys saw my door open.
Yes, that was the craziest thing I've ever seen.
Initially thinking that Brendan, her husband, was messing around with her, she proceeds to open the door. But like something out of a horror movie, she finds no one there. It is at this point when Amanda instinctually shuts and locks the door. Now it seems that Amanda already felt something wasn't right after seeing her cat act strange. Eventually, she came to fully realize this after seeing no one outside her door. It's as though she felt a dangerous or threatening presence. Now, not much else is known about what happened afterward, but until further info is provided by Christian, who thankfully sent this video, it remains a mystery as to what exactly happened that night.
So what did you guys think of that? Would that freak you guys out? I know it would certainly freak me out. And as I always say when I'm working with people, helping them with the paranormal, I always, and by the way, for anybody listening, because a lot of people didn't know this, I don't charge people to help them with the paranormal. Exactly, Michelle Plummer, the cat knew. That's what one of the first questions, because I have a questionnaire when I'm working with people, because, sometimes it's something maybe I don't do, or when I'm helping people, or I know somebody that is very good at helping other people with something. So I always have a questionnaire that I go through. And one of the first questions I do ask people is, do you have pets or small children? And if so, if it's a yes to either one of them, what are your pets doing? What are you seeing them doing? What's the activity? If it's a small child, what are they telling you? What are they saying to you? What are your animals doing? Now, with some of the comments, Kevin says, or Z-Sun Dragon, at the very beginning, I saw a white image zoom by, and she did say she saw something for a second as well. I didn't see that. I'll have to go back and check it out. Contessa Martin says, hello. Hello, Contessa. Glad to see you here. And Diane Brighton said, true cats are a good indicator. Mine often see what I see as well, cats. I was just having this conversation with somebody, not on air, but off air, about cats. And don't get me wrong, I believe all animals are incredible and amazing. And each species of animal has their special virtues and powers. But I truly believe there's a reason why the Egyptians worshipped cats. And I think that cats especially spend a good portion of their time within the spirit world, if you will, or connected to the other side. I think they are highly, highly intuitive. I also think that their purr can heal people. Like I've told many a person, pay attention to where your cat lays when, say, you're resting or sitting. Where do they go? Because I believe your cat will go to the area of your body, whether it be your spirit body, meaning your energy body, or physical body. They will go to that area and provide healing. And I'm going to tell a little story about Julie Jean Bassett. She's helped me with some of my animals, and my youngest son's cat would pee on his bed. She didn't have any health problems. There's just, you never knew. Sometimes it was 4 times a day. And sometimes she'd go a couple days without and whatever. And my youngest son actually said to me, maybe she's mad because I'm not paying attention to her. In other words, right? PO'd, pissed off. Long story short, that's basically what it was. That, right, any attention's better than no attention. Plus, Julie also sent her a bunch of healing. But one of the things that Sophie was able to say to Julie is she didn't like when my son removed her from the bedroom at nighttime, because my son was worried about her chewing up his electrical cords. She wasn't the one that would do it, but he still was worried because she said that's when she did most of her healing work with my son. And since we have shifted that, knock on wood, that's pretty well stopped the behavior problem. She still once in a while, but it's usually my son kicks her out, doesn't let her stay, and she might put up with it for one night. And I remind him, you don't let her stay, you know what's going to happen. But that's what it's about. So let's go back a little bit here. So we got, hang on. I'm so sorry. We've got Honor Kentali. I'm so sorry. I see your language here, but I unfortunately it's not English, so I have no idea what you're sharing. But welcome. Z-Sun Dragon or Kevin says it's in their eyes. They are so connected. Dan Brighton, third eye, cats have open. They read energy. Julie Jean Bassett, cats see spirits all the time. They are our protectors on the spiritual. Dogs protect us more on the physical, but dogs see spirits too. Very much agreed. I did not upload these pictures, but my dog, Emmy, I know if there's something in my house about my dog's behavior. And I did have something a couple of years ago, and I know by my dog's behavior because she's a pretty calm, chill, well-behaved dog for German Shepherd. She really, really is. Not that German Shepherds are badly behaved. A lot of them have really high energy. My dog, not so much. Anyways, when she starts getting frantic, and in the main floor down below there's a main little wall, but there's an opening on both sides, and the living room's almost rectangular. But you can basically go in a circle between there, the dining room, the kitchen, the hallway, back into the dining, all the way around in a circle. And when my dog starts doing that and starts, like, she's tracking a scent, and what she kept doing was she would get frantic and she'd be going around and around and around, and she would stop behind my chair that was right beside the sliding glass window to the backyard. And she would stop. She'd poke her head in right between the curtains, the glass pane, and my chair. And then she'd pull her head out and she'd look at me. And I could literally hear her say, this is before I took the communication course, Mom, come look. Mom, it's in here. Mom, it's in here. And one day she just wouldn't stop. So I grabbed my camera and I took some pictures. And it's pretty creepy. I don't know what this thing is. It had eyes. And it was looking like, I even moved the curtains and took some more pictures in case maybe it was a little bit of light or something. It wasn't. There was something in there. My dog definitely can pick up, but not just my dog, dogs too. I agree with Julie. They protect us more on a physical level, but I think any animal is very connected to the other side and can pick up on spirit, especially the ones that are really connected to us as human beings, right? Because they've got that bond. And if they live with you, you usually know your fur baby, if you will's behavior. So when they shift it or they change, you know something's up. So hang on. Contessa says, I have two. They know when to come to me and heal me. And Diane Brighton said her cats give her Reiki, it seems. Z-Sun Dragon says, I knocked on wood for you, Lorilei. Thank you. And Julie said, yes, that's awesome that she's doing so well now. That's about Sophie. And Kevin says, coffee table. Oh, okay. Wavelength and homage to the music of Alanis Morissette says, we are animals. Yes. Well, I guess in a way we are. We can be. Okay, you ready for video? This one had some creepy stuff in it. I didn't quite get to the end of it. So let's see what video number 2 here. Hang on. Hopefully you don't get a commercial. This is you.
In this next video,
Oh,
a woman is recording her neighbor's house after noticing some.
We've seen this one for most of us that are here, so I'll skip this one. This is the one where the neighbor notices that the neighbors aren't home, but the light switches on in the garage, and you see these figures darting back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And then all of a sudden it stops, and you see the shadow thing kind of peek around the corner. Most of you guys that are here have seen it. Oh, you were knocking on the coffee table. I get it, Kevin. So I'll skip this one because I know most of you that are here have seen it. Hang on, we'll go to number 8. Let's see. One of these, it's a little hard to see what's going on in it too. Let's see, how far along are we? Okay, we're there. Hang on. This one had some creepy stuff in it. Oh, this one was, I hope you guys can see this. Hang on. Okay, I'm going to play this, then we're going to get to the next video. This was creepy. I don't know if it'll
On
let me.
December 2nd of
No, it won't let me make it.
most videos, this one remains a
Sorry.
mystery.
Watch the door.
On
On the
December
right-hand
2nd of
side where they're
2021,
pointing.
at around 9 p.m., affiliates of a Christian church were looking at live footage of something very peculiar that was happening outside their chapel. They were looking at the security camera's live feed to see if anyone appeared on camera, as it was just then that the intruder alarm had gone off. They knew that someone had to be there, given that their alarm system had never failed them. But minutes pass, and no one appears. They continue to watch, hoping to see the intruder emerge from. Take a look.
I'm going to blow it up so you can see it. You know, watching the door open. Now watch her confront.
In utter disbelief, the church members watched.
Just so I stop it with commentary, I believe he blows it up a bit more. For people listening, what they're seeing is it almost looks like a little white figure. The door opens, it goes through the doorway, and just as quickly as it went in, it comes back out again. So I'm going to play. I'll continue to play, but sorry guys if it's annoying, but we have to do that, like I said, for YouTube. But watch again. I think he blows it up again for you.
Closely as one of the side doors opens on its own. It opens ever so
There,
slowly
it's
and
closer.
remains open, as if the door was being held. But strangest of all is what ensues. A strange, translucent figure passes through, entering inside the church. The door continues to remain open before immediately closing after the figure exits. The church personnel no doubt believe that something otherworldly had taken place. While there's no definitive answer on what was seen, they still believe that a spirit or something similar had paid them all a visit.
I'll cue up this one, the next one. Hang on, and then
In the following
oh, this is creepy, this one too. So what do you guys, okay, so Kevin's saying, oh, wow. Diane Brighton says, wow. Little person, LOL. That's what I thought. It kind of felt more, now, I don't know if it was a child because it didn't really feel childlike to me, but it was definitely small, whatever it was showing, whatever it was. It was certainly interesting. Julie's saying the same thing. Oh, wow. Kevin says, short little person. I don't know what it was. Now, this is a creepy video. I have seen just the clip towards the end, and it's a little hard to see till he starts to blow it up. So I will start part of the story, stop it, and then start again, or I may even fast forward because they block it out because it actually is live footage of a car accident caught from a traffic cam. That's not the important part. It's what goes by afterwards that's creepy. So we'll start it. You'll see what I'm talking about.
video, a large crowd of onlookers are standing on a bridge looking at something that's beneath them. The person recording this doesn't exactly show what's being seen by others, but based on the facial expressions of those around him, one can assume that something pretty horrific is being witnessed. Now the man behind the camera commentates on what's being seen, but his voice trembles as he talks. It seems that something about this scene is deeply disturbing for him. After giving a vague and somewhat confusing description of this mysterious event, the video cuts to black. But fast forward to only a few weeks later, and surveillance footage of this mysterious incident is posted online, showing the reason as to why people had gathered on this bridge. Take a look.
So now they've covered it up so you can't see the accident. But there's a reason why, and you're not going to see it at first. It's hard to see, but then he blows it up.
As it turns out, a car accident had taken place, or unfortunately, the driver's life was taken upon impact. However, there's something else about this footage that many people can't stop talking about. It seems that something just as unsettling was captured. Only a few seconds after the accident, this is caught.
You won't see it at first till he blows it up. Watch the top of this truck. One more
After
time.
looking closely, a dark, shadow-like figure can be seen standing on a truck's bed. Although it's hard to tell as to who or even what this might have been, viewers have noted that it seems to be overlooking the wreckage from the car crash. This, along with its physical appearance, have led many to believe that this may have been the Grim Reaper caught on camera. Knowing about this video, it's no wonder why the person recording the previous footage felt very unsettled. The bridge itself has a history of claiming the lives of many drivers, which is why it's been dubbed the death curve. Seeing the wreckage below and knowing about this eerie footage has naturally made those who know about this place feel spooked. But of course, whether paranormal or not, I'll let you come up with your own conclusions. Was Death himself present at the site of this unfortunate accident, or was something else caught on camera?
I just want to see what this next. Oh, this is creepy, the next one too. So what did you guys think of that video? Yeah, Diane Brighton said, okay, wait, I'll go a little higher. Ozzy's and Dragon or Kevin says, oh yes, we saw this one before. A robe with sneakers on. Looks like the Reaper. But maybe, yes, we did see the end of it, but I didn't know the before story. Plus, I mean, I guess it could have been just a statue, could have been whatever. But how do we know, if you believe in the Grim Reaper, that he doesn't wear sneakers? And Julie says, agree, appears like the angel of death. I don't know. It was certainly interesting. Certainly interesting. Now, this next one, I knew what was going to happen before it did. You guys tell me if you did after you watch this, okay? Now, there's subtitles with it because this is from, and I think this girl that sent it in has the same name as me. I was shocked. That's what caught my attention at first. But there's subtitles. But I'm going to show you this one. I knew this was going to happen. There was just no way I couldn't not see it. Julie says she didn't see the sneakers or white feet. Neither did Diane. I didn't see it either. Kevin says, I saw an image of a man in the middle of the road too. Interesting. We'll have to go back. He says like a spirit form. We'll have to see. You guys tell me after we see what happens here, if you believe you knew ahead of time what was going to happen. I won't ruin it for you. Hang on.
This next video was posted by a woman named Lorilei Potvin, who states that something very strange was captured in a video that was taken many years ago. The girl in this clip is Lorilei's cousin-in-law's daughter, who was about 10 years old when she took this video. According to Lorilei, she was filming herself in her bedroom when something pretty spooky happened. The video starts off with the young girl playing with her toys, doing a show and tell of a kitchen playset she was recently given.
Hola, Lorelistas. Hoy estamos en un nuevo video para mi canal y hoy voy a estar mostrando las cositas, tenedores y todas las cositas de cocina que tengo para jugar.
Now, as the young girl states, this video is for her YouTube channel, which according to Lorilei is solely based on pretend play videos and toy reviews. What was meant to be an innocent pretend play video turned out to be something completely different. Take a look.
Bueno, empecemos. Primero tengo este cuchillo, es muy lindo. Pues tengo esto que es como para cortar pizza, creo.
For people listening, she's showing plastic
Tengo
toys,
esto,
to cutter,
cuchara,
spoons, plastic knives, and a fork.
cuchilla filosa. Ahora tengo dos tenedores así. Uno rosita, igual que el cuchillo que mostré al principio. No sé si lo mostré al principio. Y este tenedor amarillo. Pues tener... Pues se me está cayendo todo. Perdón, se me está cayendo todo. Dos cuchillos amarillos iguales.
Now they're speeding up the video. This is when it starts to get good.
Pues
Now the
las
cups,
tacitas.
she says.
Tengo esta tacita rosita y esta tacita como fucsia. Huevo, ¿sí?
It was promptly after noticing the doll's arm lifting on its own that the girl pauses, turns around, and bolts out in a panic frenzy. Even before this, it appeared that she had already sensed something strange was happening, as if seeing one of her toys suddenly fall by itself wasn't already enough to make her feel unsettled. This happens. Now currently, the girl in this video is 14 years old, but despite how old this video is, it continues to haunt her to this day. Just like Lorilei and others who've seen this clip, they have no idea as to how the doll seemingly moved on its own.
So, what did you guys think of that one? And Kevin, okay. So Diane Brighton says dolls alive, and Kevin says, or Z Dragon, oof, creepy indeed. I could not stop looking at that doll. I don't know what it was from the minute it started. I went, I know what's going to happen. That doll is going to start moving. I know that doll's going to move, and it did. Like, how? What do you guys think happened? I don't think this little one was faking it. Do you? Like, I think she was just sitting there playing. It's always the doll. Jennifer M says, darn right, it's always the doll. Like that doll, it was like it was flat. I'm getting goosebumps again. Not cold in here, but just thinking about it. As soon as I watched it, I went, it's going to be the doll. I know it's going to be the doll. It's going to be the doll. And it was Michelle Plummer, totally. And it was waiting for the doll. And sure enough, it was the doll. That is the creepiest thing though. Like, why does that happen with dolls, you guys? That is so weird. And I mean, you've heard so many stories about haunted dolls, and I mean, like documented cases of dolls. That's why, to me, and again, it's not said with any judgment, but just logically, it's the same when you get somebody that says they believe in the devil or evil or Satan or whatever, but they don't believe in God. Or you get people that totally believe in God and angels, but there's no such thing as anything negative or evil or anything. Just logically, it has to make sense being on this existence on earth. There's always an opposite. There's always a yin and a yang. There's a hot, there's a cold, there's a dark, there's a light. That's exactly what there is in this existence. And Diane Brighton says, seen it a lot with old porcelain dolls. Jean Bassett said dolls are easily manipulated. I don't know. And Aziz and Dragon says, why would you want a haunted doll? Some people do. I agree. Well, Seraphine, my previous co-host that I had, I asked her this because oh man, some of the stuff I seen and some of the stuff that used to happen on some of our shows in the background. And she did collect haunted dolls. She collected, I remember she got a crucifix that was used in an exorcism that cracked during the exorcism. And she had a lot of crazy activity after that. I can't tell you how many things I've seen, witnessed with her, worked on stuff with her with things like this. But I asked her in the beginning of our friendship, like, why do you do this? Like I said, like exactly what you guys are saying. Like, why would you want a haunted doll? Like, why would you put these all together, like in a place? And believe me, she understood a lot she worked more with the dark. I kind of worked more with the light, and we sort of met in the middle. But she had a really good explanation for it. And what she said was, I understand in the way of how to have everybody play nice, as she said, so protect the energy. And she said it's kept in a safe, maintained environment versus what would happen if somebody got something like this and then just it got out into the public or whatever. And she wasn't coming from an egotistical perspective that, well, I'm so powerful and amazing that I stop it from going anywhere. No, but she was maintaining that it's in a safe space, that it's not going to hurt anybody else. And she knew how to, work with that type of energy. But I can tell you with that exorcist cross, holy crap, man. And I know I'd be talking to her, on video. She'd say, yeah, I've got it over here protected. Next morning sends me a picture and it's in another room, or it's under the bed, or yes, Julie. She goes, oh, wow. Crucifix cracked. Wow. Yep. And she showed it to me. We talked about it. She used to, when she was in her previous place, she would do our podcast in her office, and a lot of the haunted dolls behind her were behind her. There was this one doll, and I mean, it's kind of hard to see what's in the background, right? And I swear to God, I'd see that thing blink and smile and everything till she showed me and all of us the doll had a painted face. I can't tell you how many EVPs we got. I met her from my previous network, and we did a lot of work together on the previous network and had a show. She had her own show, and then we had a show on this network together too. We're still friends. Nothing bad happened. Just she had stuff going on, and we had to let the show, our show we did together, go. But I can't tell you how much in the way of haunted stuff and things that happened, and things while we were on video, not on the show, but chatting. It was crazy. And Z Sun Dragon says, yeah, we spend so much energy protecting our homes and coexisting with spirits. What a job that would be to keep those dolls in line. LOL. That's kind of how I felt. Well, there's an old video. I don't ask people questions unless, I don't care if you're my friend or not, but I remember my producer, before I'd met her on my previous network, had said she's a vampire. And I said, okay. And as I got to know her, I knew that. I wasn't nosy about it. You identify the way you want to identify. As long as you're not hurting people and you're doing your own thing, that's your business. So we had 84 hours straight of paranormal radio on a Halloween weekend, 2018. It's called the Spookathon. And we all had 3-hour spots where we would have a live show. And her guest canceled. And I remember saying to me, I don't know what I'm going to do. I said, hello, you have a built-in person who will do. She goes, you'll do it with me? I go, yeah, of course I will. So I said, what do you want to talk about? And we threw on this crazy makeup. I think I had a poorly drawn sugar skull makeup on or something. I forget what she was wearing. And she said, why don't you ask me a bunch of questions about why I identify as being a vampire? And I believe that interview is still up on YouTube. And it was an interesting conversation. And I got to ask the questions that I wondered about, but I never asked about. It's also, I was on a lot of shows that weekend. It's so sad, our previous network, we never got copies of our old shows or anything. And I think I was on a lot of shows that weekend because I was living in my haunted house still. And, people wanted to ask, like, what was your experience? What did these pictures mean? All kinds of things. So it was interesting nonetheless. So Diane Brighton said, my sister collected antique dolls and antique prams. It was so creepy to visit her, for the glass doll eyes seemed to follow you. And Kevin says, that is so cool. Would love to see that interview. Well, I'll have to see if it's still up. If it is, I'll try to remember and I'll post it if I remember. So why did she identify as a vampire? It was part of, I believe at one time she was a witch, and she just felt that her energy and who she was, and she identified with being a vampire, not like a vampire from off of TV. She was totally sane. She is completely sane. And it was more about a lifestyle choice. And like I say, you'd have to watch the interview. It was quite intriguing, but I never asked her, because I knew she was perfectly sane. Like, she wasn't living in a fantasy world or pretending she was part of Twilight, or there's a whole community of it, especially I believe down in the southern states. And like, they would have a ball every year, and it was pretty interesting. And it was more about an energy exchange. And like, I think I even asked her, I think in the interview, like, do you bite people? Like, why? I asked her all the questions you're probably thinking. And like I said, I had never asked that to her face because I just respected who she was. And I thought if she wanted to tell me more about it, she would tell me. So that's just kind of how I am. As long as you're not hurting anybody, you want to share it, you'll share it. And if you don't, you don't. You guys, we are out of, holy crap, I didn't realize what time it is. We got to get off here, you guys. Talk all day. Anyways, I hope all of you who are celebrating Canada Day here in Canada have a wonderful rest of your Canada evening, and that the fireworks aren't too bad. Keep your pets inside, keep them safe. As more pets go missing at this time of year, anywhere around the world where fireworks are played. So keep your babies inside if you can, please. Put something on to dull the noise if you can. Bundle them up. A lot of them, if it's not too hot, keep them safe. So happy Canada Day. Happy July the 4th, Independence Day for our brothers and sisters in the United States. And feel free, if anybody's sharing, celebrating holidays on the other side of the world that we're not aware of, let us know. We'd be happy to wish you happy whatever it is too. I will be here on Thursday with the thing at the foot of the bed, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I believe Dave, he's been sending me a bunch of stuff. I just haven't been on the internet much. Is said he's going to be here too. So there will be a show that night as well. And if you guys ever want to get a hold of me, to book a reading, I do energy healing, I do teaching and mentoring, also help with the paranormal, but I do not charge to help people with the paranormal. You can get a hold of me on any social media platform, or you can go to my page, facebook.com/Angel Rock, or the fastest and easiest way to get a hold of me, just message me on Messenger. But I am on every single social media platform you can think of, either under Lorilei Potvin or the Angel Rock. So you can certainly reach me then. I have 2 groups on Facebook, Paranormal University for all things paranormal, the Angel Rocker Tribe for more spiritual type things as well. And don't forget to check out our group, The Thing at the Foot of the Bed with Lorilei Potvin and David Hansel on Facebook. We're over 100, I think we're 106, 107 people. We have to get up to 200. When we do, Dave and I are going to start going live in there, doing free 1-question readings, hanging out without y'all, kind of like what we did tonight. And so be sure to tell your friends and family about that. Come join us. You can share your paranormal questions or comments or pictures, show ideas. And I also try, and Dave will too, but I try to put the links from when we show videos or whatever, because again, most of our listening or our audience is a listening audience, so they don't get to see what all of you do here that are hanging out with us every week. Thank you all for your support of both of these shows and our network. We love you all. I hope you have a great rest of your evening. Stay spooky, stay safe, and I send you all so much love and light. And until Thursday, that's right, Contessa, until Thursday, take care, everybody.